Hey Discovery Rangers, we're going to pick up right where we left off in the book of Ezra with our Bible lessons this week. I'm going to skip to lesson number 3 just because it connects to the first lesson better so that we have more of a complete picture of what we talked about last week. So I'm going to get right into it. In the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, in order to fulfill the word of the Lord spoken by Jeremiah, the Lord moved the heart of Cyrus, the king of Persia, to make a proclamation throughout his realm, and also to put in writing. This is what Cyrus, king of Persia, says: "The Lord, the God of heaven, has given me all the kingdoms of the earth, and he has appointed me to build a temple for him at Jerusalem in Judah. Any of his people among you may go up to Jerusalem in Judah and build the temple of the Lord, the God of Israel, the God who is in Jerusalem, and may their God be with them. And in any locality where survivors may now be living, the people are to provide them with silver and gold and goods and livestock, and with free will offerings for the temple of God in Jerusalem." That comes from Ezra 1:1-4. Jeremiah and Isaiah didn't live at the same time, but God used both men to tell about events that would unfold after Jerusalem fell to Babylon. Isaiah lived about 150 years before King Cyrus. Cyrus was the king of Persia. God told Isaiah to speak about things that Cyrus would do. When Isaiah spoke, bad times were ahead for God's people. They would be conquered and taken captive. They would be removed from their homeland. Isaiah said that Cyrus would allow God's people to go home to rebuild Jerusalem and the temple. He even called Cyrus by name. This happened in 538 BC. In that year, Cyrus issued the decree found in the book of Ezra. The decree brought about what Isaiah had said. Cyrus let the Jews go back to their homeland. He let them begin rebuilding God's temple, and he allowed them to work on Jerusalem too. King Cyrus did what God wanted. His actions had far-reaching impacts. God has a plan and a purpose for each person. Learn to obey God quickly when he asks you to do something. Doing that is a key to fulfilling his plans for your life. You need a good relationship with Jesus. That means that you need to pray and learn how to hear his voice. You also need to know what gifts that God has given you, and that you need to practice using those gifts. So like we talked about last week, this book of the Bible takes place after the people of Israel had been taken captive and then let go back to their home. There was the Babylonians who took over Israel and took the people, and then the Persians came and took over Babylon, and they still had the Israelites as part of their empire. And this king, the king of Persia, King Cyrus, allowed them to go back home, and he allowed them to build the temple again. So now we're going to get into our questions, and we're going to answer them in our Zoom meeting as we always do. What did God say about Cyrus? And you can read in the book of Isaiah 44:28 exactly what God had to say about Cyrus years and years and years before he was born. I hope that you read that because I want you guys to be prepared for the class on Friday. How was Cyrus obedient to God's will? And lastly, why is obedience important for God's people? One more time, I'm going to read the 3 of them off to you. What did God say about Cyrus? That's in Isaiah 44:28. How was Cyrus obedient to God's will? And why is obedience important for God's people? Right, I look forward to seeing what everyone has to say, everyone's answers on Friday. And until then, continue having a good rest of the week.
In the silence you won't let go. In the questions your truth will hold. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore. I won't fear what tomorrow brings. With each morning I'll rise and sing. My God's love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled